So I was sitting around thinking earlier today. I was wondering, what is my favorite game of all time? And just now I've been thinking, considering how I've been playing this game and recording it several days in rapid succession, I'd have to say this is probably my favorite. At least it's my favorite single-player game of all time. I feel like multiplayer should be in its own category. It's very different. If anyone's interested in what my favorite multiplayer game of all time is, that would be Tribes 2. Unfortunately, nobody ever plays that anymore. And the servers for that went down in 2009, I think. And then somebody came out with a new client so that we could use master servers that were run by fans of the game. There might be a couple people still playing that, but the numbers have really thinned out by a lot. And I haven't really been doing my part to keep the community alive, because I haven't been...
How'd you like that?
I haven't really played that in like a year. Anyway, why am I talking about this? This has nothing to do with KotOR. So KotOR is awesome. I love this game. I know I like to sing the praises of games like Morrowind. Morrowind is up there with this, but I'd have to say this really takes the cake for me. I mean, just the characters and the world building. Morrowind had really good world building, but probably better world building. But this game, just the way it flows and the pacing. It's just all very, very well put together. I know the role-playing mechanics leave a bit to be desired, but it's not perfect. But what game is perfect? Man, I really want Force Wave. But if you get faster speed, it lets you do two extra attacks per round. And I think that works for pistols as well, or for guns. I don't know why it wouldn't work for guns. But next level, I definitely should get that Force Wave, because that is really powerful if you have good wisdom.
Acknowledgement.
Uh-huh. Yes?
Oh. Let me see. So, you have good demolitions. Can I help the demolitions anymore? No. That's a shame. Well, maybe you can disarm this frag mine. Yes, you can.
Ready? Sure.
Don't let me die under here, please!
this be a trap?
Please help!
Perhaps I could persuade you not to do this? Or, no, I want to say this. Who are you to threaten me? I could be dangerous. You fear me, coward little piggy. Gamorreans. So stupid.
Acknowledgement.
I'll be taking that.
Ready? Sure.
I don't feel like rapid transiting. That worked? Yep, that worked. Oh, he's tossing grenades. That's not good. Oh, cut that out. I should be shooting this guy. And now I'll shoot you. No, not you. Now he's throwing grenades.
How'd you like that?
Everyone's throwing grenades.
That hurt.
What are you doing? Whoa, where are they spawning from? Are they just infinite or what? Finally. So I can take this back to Zerka. They'll give me money. They'll give me money for slaughtering natives because they're classy like that. Oh, I didn't even have to buy that bantha fodder. Damn it. Another response package. Like, I definitely needed another one of those. It's not like I already had 5 of those to begin with. This is kind of funny. I don't even know why you'd ever want to put something into a container. The only time in the game where that's ever useful is when you put that grenade into the ranker's food pile. No, recover it. Don't destroy it. What was that?
What?
All right. I have a limited supply of med packs. What was that noise? Eastern Dune Sea and to Sand People Territory. So we want to go to the Sand People Territory first. And we can disguise ourselves.
What?
So that they don't immediately attack us.
What?
Ready.
So many mines. It's beautiful.
Yes?
Alright, what's my awareness? Okay, it's good. Having low awareness kind of screwed me back on Korriban. I don't want that to happen again. Let's talk to Karth for a minute.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Do you think you'll see Dustil again?
I think so. If he's anything like he used to be, Dustil hates to be tricked. There's no way he'll let the Sith trick him again. As for whether or not he'll be my son again, I don't know. He's so full of anger and hate. I wasn't expecting him to be like this. Well, maybe we can work it out. I hope so. I guess I'll have to wait and see. Thanks, by the way, for all your help.
Well, that's the end of that plot line. Some people don't like this part of the game because it's just a bunch of desert. I think it works. You know, the way you have the dunes that go up and down so you can't really see everything all at once. Some people just don't like desert levels.
Master?
I wonder if I can see deadly mines.
Sure.
Because if I don't see a deadly mine, it will more than likely kill me in one hit.
Ready?
Acknowledgement.
What? Ready?
Master?
So there are a couple ways you can do this. You can take the diplomatic Star Trek style approach, or you can just go in and shoot everyone. Or you can be diplomatic and then shoot everyone. I don't even think you get dark side points if you kill every single one of the sand people. I guess BioWare doesn't really care about sand people now, do they?
Interjection. One moment. I believe I understood that, Master. It may not have been his intention, but he did actually communicate something.
Quickly, tell them that we are not a threat.
Translation. Result. I believe I have succeeded in confusing him, Master. We have shown an interest not common among outsiders.
Apologize for being here. Say we want peace.
Translation. Translation. He is expressing disbelief, as am I, but his duty requires that he report to his chieftain. Extrapolation. It would seem that we are at least worthy of curiosity for the moment. I would much rather this get bloody, Master, but it is your call. Translation. I can translate with some guarantee of accuracy that he is demanding to know why he should let us survive this encounter, Master.
Why are you able to speak to the Sand People when I can't?
Extrapolation. I understand that you are Force-sensitive, Master, but I lack sufficient knowledge to make an accurate assumption. Hypothesis. Perhaps your ability does not take the place of actual language study when the subject is out of the ordinary. Or perhaps the Sand People confuse your ability because they actively refuse to communicate with most outsiders. I have no data on this, sadly.
Tell me when a peaceful solution.
Translation. Translation. He claims he has no reason to believe you, Master. Your kind have tainted this land with machines and uncaring, ignorant feet. Translation. He requires proof of good faith. We must make a contribution to his people that shows we are not a threat. Shall I blast him now, Master?
Ask what it is that he wants.
Translation. Translation. He plans to move his people farther from Anchorhead, but they need to build up stores of water first. He says you must aid him. Translation. He wants moisture evaporators from the Zerka. If you deliver them, he will order that his people reduce their attacks on miners.
Tell him we will get his vaporators. Or will he also tell us about any captives he has?
Translation. Translation. He says you will get no more answers until you have proven you are an ally of the Sand People.
Tell him we will get the vaporators.
Translation. Translation. He does not believe you, Master. We will only be allowed to re-enter the Enclave when we have the vaporators with us. Translation. We are to be escorted outside. He will wait, but he doesn't believe we are coming back.
Alright, let's put some clothes on so we don't get horrible sunburn.
Sure.
Let's go sell these gaffy sticks. So we're gonna make money on on killing the Sand People and also try to make peace with them. Hey, what can I say? I'm a practical guy. I'm pragmatic.
Greetings again from the offices of Zerga Corporation. Is this about bounties or something else?
I have gaffy sticks.
I see that, but do you have the all-important Chieftain's Gaffy? That was what you agreed to get for us.
Just the regular ones for now.
Then I'll take those off your hands, but the real prize is still out there. Farewell.
Only 450, that's not that great. What do you have available? Moisture vaporators? To exchange with the Sand People to stop with their attacks? Could you be persuaded to lower the price? Circus costs, not yours. Who cares about their money? Sounds fine to me. Okay. I think if I go back here, I'll be able to transit back. Let me save real quick, just in case something goes catastrophically wrong. Just checking to see if there's anything I want here. Arcanian heavy pistol. Compare that to my Mandalorian pistol if I can find it. I'm not seeing it in here. Can I not sell it if it's equipped? That might be the problem. God dang, look at all those race bonds. Okay. Karth. 411. Yeah, these are much better than that.
Yes?
They probably cost less too. I would like to get a better gun for HK. This is probably better than what he has right now. I'm okay with buying expensive stuff even though my credits are getting low. I mean, those race bonds are going to make me totally rich. Okay.
Extrapolation. This guard doesn't appear honored to have the job of greeting us.
Tell him we have the converters.
Translation. Translation. He will take us before the chieftain, as he was instructed to do. Translation. He did not expect us to return, Master. He wonders if we have brought the moisture evaporators.
Tell him we have his vaporators.
Translation. Translation. He does not trust you, Master, but you have done more than any other outsider. They will not attack, and he grants you his chieftain's gaffy as reward.
Ah, perfect.
Translation. The attacks will be reduced, and he will allow you to explore this enclave, but be warned that any lack of respect will result in death.
You want to look at me when you're talking? I have a few questions for him.
Protocol. If you truly want this sadly peaceful arrangement to continue, be careful of what you ask.
Ask about captives.
Clarification. We must be more specific, Master. They capture many organics.
Ask if he knows about the Jawas Isis told us about.
Translation. Translation. He says that the captive Jawas are slaves and that they have lived past their usefulness. You may take them if you wish.
Tell him farewell for now.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
Well, now we can tell Zerka that we killed the chieftain. You'll get a lot of experience and a lot of good loot if you pillage this whole place. I don't think you get any dark side points either. But even so, I kind of don't want to do it. It's weird. This video game is making me care about characters that don't exist. There are thanks you must have. The Javas under Isis will reward in trade. Find them and you will see. I wonder. Okay, they don't care. So I don't care if I loot that. But if I loot any of these, they'll start killing me. So this is what their women look like if anyone's interested. What if I'm allowed to take this? More bantha fodder, yay. Okay. So we'll turn in the chieftain's Gaffy's. Well, do we have to do that just yet? We don't really have to. No, I'm not going to do that right now. I think I have everything I need. Wait. I need a map of the Eastern Dune Sea, that's what I remember. So I don't have a map of the Eastern Dune Sea. Damn. That's going to be a problem. Alright, let me save. I should go this way. Alright, here's the chieftain.
Query. What do you wish to...
Ask about the star map.
Translation. Translation. He says that what you seek is far from here in the Eastern Dune Sea. He will give you a map so you can find your way. Translation. His people found it but didn't scavenge it because a crate dragon took up residence in the excavation.
A great dragon? What is that? How do I pass it?
Translation. Translation. Your ignorance isn't his concern. He claims there is a hunter that wanders the area sometimes and that you should ask him. Translation. The hunter is a Twi'lek. He will be in the Eastern Dune Sea somewhere.
I want information on Sand People culture.
Protocol. This will be a very sensitive topic, Master. You will want to be careful with your questions or risk offending him. Not that that is much of a worry.
Why are they so hostile to outsiders?
Translation. Translation. He says that the fact that you have to ask, this is just one more example of your ignorance as an outsider, Master. He says you are blind. Translation. His people believe they are part of the land, living with it. You and your kind dare to raise yourself above it. You remove yourself. Translation. That act of removal makes you an outsider, separate from all that is important. You could never understand how unwelcome you are.
Well, that's nice of him.
Translation. Translation. He says that outsiders use machines to convey them and to make their lives easier. This severs a connection with the land. Translation: connection to the soil must be made through flesh. A sacred animal is the only external tool to be used.
Why is he bargain for vaporators when they're unnatural? That would probably be a sensitive question. Let's ask it.
Translation. Translation. He says that the use of these blasphemous things will only be tolerated because outsider interference has forced it upon them. Translation. If your kind had not come here, he would not have to defend their ways or their land.
How does he have contact with the land while completely covered?
Translation. Translation. He says that the robes are sacred, Master, and you would not understand. Sand people are never uncovered outside of the most private moments.
Not even in death.
Translation. Translation. Never. That is their way, Master.
Ooh, I probably shouldn't even mention that. Tell me the history of your clan.
Translation. Translation. He says that he will not, Master. There is one storyteller in each clan, and only he may recite the histories.
Ask if we could meet the storyteller.
Translation. Translation. He says that you don't understand. They must never be told to someone who might say them incorrectly out of ignorance. Translation. To speak them in error is a blasphemy punishable by death. Only their greatest warriors are even permitted to listen to the tales.
How could I prove I am a worthy warrior?
Translation. Translation. He doesn't know, Master. His people usually kill outsiders. Since you are an outsider yourself, that would not suffice. Translation. The greatest challenge for a warrior is to face a great dragon, the largest predator on Tatooine. Fight one of those, and bring back a dragon pearl. Discussed. I think he's making fun of you, Master. He doesn't believe an outsider could do such a thing.
Tell him farewell for now.
Translation. Translation.
I don't know if I've ever done this. So, when you get the crate dragon pearl, you can usually, what I usually do is put it into a lightsaber as a lightsaber crystal. I don't think I've ever actually given it to the sand people. Well, this will be interesting.
Master?
So HK-47 is...
Yes?
He's a C-3PO except psychotic.
Uh-huh.
Ready.
It's an interesting twist. I like it.
What?
It's like he was made to kill things. So of course, something that was made with the purpose of killing things would just be totally gleeful about doing so.
What?
Master?
Sure.
I always felt it was interesting to have people working with the main character who are on the dark side, even if the character's on the light side. Makes for interesting character dynamics, I think. Here's that hunter they were talking about.
I'm tired of waiting, Comad. How big can this dragon of yours be? I'm going in.
What a dummy. You can see it from here. It's gigantic. If you go in there, you'll immediately die, just like that guy did. I thought you preferred the solo hunt. Why should we kill this great beast? See, this guy cares about conservation. How will we lead the bet this year? I've already got a bunch of that stuff. That seems very easy. What aren't you telling me? Look, I have your fodder. I'll see what I can do. Some people think that, like, you shouldn't kill for conservation purposes, because it's like, or if you wanted to kill for conservation purposes, you just kill people because people are bad for conservation. It's like, really, dude? I mean, if what you're doing messes up the environment, then you should fix that, right? I mean, I guess you could fix it by fixing the problem and then killing yourself, or you could just fix the problem and call it a day. I would choose the latter, personally. I don't know.
How'd you like that? It's fast.
That hurt.
Oh, you can't save. My pointer.
How'd you like that?
Damn it. Lost my pointer. There it is.
That hurt, I bet.
Master speed is probably the most important power that someone who's attacking can have. Or someone that uses, you know, regular attacks as opposed to force attacks.
Achuta. 뭔가 군비스돌 아추다. 뭔가 군비스돌. 제도바도 와는 이디보보. 동나 뭉샤 누누냐? 동바두카시막
Don't worry, I'm ready.
두네 포도 라는 우프라타 동거 시. 난다야다. 왔다 유마 와마 호호난덱덱. 아, 셔츠도 봐도 와는 이디보보. 동나 뭉샤 누누냐? 동바두카시막.
Thanks, we did what had to be done.
론다 디호 동가 군 헝가비. 와나 군 베스 칭 발랍 무저샥 바깥. 기에.
But seriously, I hate it when people have this defeatist attitude about conservation. It's like if there's an invasive species, they're like, oh, well, it doesn't deserve to die any more than we do. I mean, like, you're not helping anything by saying stuff like that. Alright, I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, sorry. Man, I already bought one of these. Is there anything else in here?
Anyone else get the feeling that finding this star map in the back of this Great Dragon's cave is more than just a coincidence?
Observation. There is tremendous power emanating from the star map. I wonder if the Great Dragon was drawn to this cave because of it.
Possibly. The star map is a powerful dark side artifact.
Yes, Master. I am certain you are correct. Now that we have what we came for, I do hope we will be leaving this world soon. I am growing so sick of sand in my circuits.
Ready.
Alright, Karth. What can we do for you? You have all the good combat feats. We could give you toughness, but we're a little bit late in the game for that. Conditioning. It's always good to have better saving throws. Yeah, we'll give you conditioning.
Master?
What?
Okay, I think I can't fast travel from here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Dewbacks first made their appearance when they did the special edition of episode 4. Which kind of makes me hate them. Because I hate the special edition. See, is there anything else to do on this planet? I think I've done just about everything. Oh, wait. No, there are a couple things. Let me get Bastila. She can level up like never mind. Why can't she level up?
Yes?
Because I leveled her up recently.
How can I help?
You wanted to speak to me.
Yes, I did. I wanted to speak to you about our mission and what lies ahead for us. It seems fate, or the Force, is driving us into a confrontation with the Dark Lord. You must prepare yourself for when we face Malak. The confrontation will be difficult for you. I remember how hard it was when I first faced Revan.
Is it true you killed Darth Revan?
It's true that due to my battle meditation, I was with the Jedi Strike team that boarded Revan's ship. We did not kill Revan, however.
That's not what I heard.
Our mission was to capture Revan if possible. It was Malak who turned on his own master, firing upon Revan's ship while we were still on board it. It was his desire to kill us and his master both. Thankfully, we narrowly escaped the vessel as it exploded.
But you would have killed the Revan eventually, right?
As I said, we were there to capture Revan alive.
Well,
the Jedi do
yeah.
not believe in killing their prisoners. No one deserves execution, no matter what their crimes. Remember that Revan and Malak were once great Jedi, heroes in every sense of the word. They demonstrate the danger of the dark side to us all. I'm sorry, we really shouldn't speak of this anymore. The memory of my confrontation with Revan is painful. Let's return to the mission, please.
Okay, return to mission.
How can I help?
I want to know more about you.
Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself.
Tell me how you joined the Jedi, then.
I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most Padawans are. As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Tal Ravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged.
So the Jedi separates children from their families.
Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly.
You aren't allowed to love?
Emotional entanglements can be dangerous. They can impair rational thought. They can lead to outbursts of uncontrolled emotion. A Jedi must be above such things.
You don't sound very convinced.
It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time.
You weren't you? Who weren't you on good terms with?
I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her and the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken.
You never tried to get in touch with your father again.
A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter.
You sound very sad when you say that.
Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission. How can I help?
So maybe now we can do the thing here that's related to her. But first, we need to talk about parallel universes now. First, I need to sell this stuff. Wait, did I ever get the pearl? Oh, yeah, I do have the pearl. I could probably get better prices for my raid plates elsewhere. Well, I didn't even check to see what he would pay for it. I should probably do that. Alright. man, my inventory is getting huge. $24. I gotta give them the chieftain stick.
Greetings again from the offices of Zerga Corp. Well, that is a very big headache that you've removed. I'm sure there are still sand people out there, but they'll be quieter now. I think I'll give you a bonus for this. You've more than lived up to your side of the bargain. Zerga Corporation thanks you.
You want to give me an additional reward.
And I wouldn't want you to leave without this additional reward. Yes, of course I wouldn't.
Zerka may be a corrupt organization, but that does not justify us using the Force for personal gain.
Yeah, it does. Shut up, Bastila. Here, have this master robe. Although I think Juhani should be wearing that. Maybe she already is wearing one of those.
Yes?
Anyway. She left. She got tired of my moral corruptness. Alright, where's the cantina? I haven't been to the cantina yet, I don't think. Or have I? No, here it is. Bastila, please.
Should have been a raid hunter. I hate this uniform.
Something you want, Spacer? Go talk to the office if you want to complain about conditions here. I don't want to hear it. You swoop bracers. Do you even know what it takes to run an outpost like this? As long as there's flat ground, what do you care?
I wanted to ask a few questions if you have the time.
I don't really have any interest in helping you. Will this be quick?
You're not much of a spokesman for Berserker Corporation.
Like I said before, I don't much care what you think. I'll be on the street if business keeps dropping, and it will. All right. Good.
Okay, never mind. Who are you?
Well now, what can Gandalf do for you? It's been a while since I've had anyone bother talking to me. I saw you down near the track, didn't I? Or was that someone else? I've been distracted by what happened on Taris.
I was at Mata's, yes. Can I ask a question or two?
Sure, not a problem. Might as well try to pass along some of what I know. My racing days are pretty much done.
I want to ask about you and racing.
Ah, something I know. Well, something I used to know. My racing days are behind me. Gandalf is the name. Oh, well, past my prime by any measure. It's a cutthroat business. I've seen some of them burn. That's not everyone, of course, but it happens. I'm a has-been, I'll admit, but dying while you're on top is still dying. I'll pass. Huh? Keep...
Never mind. Jawas and sand people don't seem to like everyone else.
Huh? Who are you then? The only new people that come to Junix Nard's Cantina are long-time losers and bounty hunters. I don't have to tell you why the two don't mix well. Please keep any blaster fire to a minimum. Zerka Corporation only worries about keeping their own stores full. I don't have much on hand.
Bothan Quick Draw. It's not very good. Alright, let's play Pazak. But first...
How can I help?
Okay, never mind, we have to come back here later.
Well, fresh face for the game. I wonder, would you care to play?
Oh, it's
My name
Rosh
is
again, damn it.
Nellis. My vice is Pazak.
Can't get away from Rosh in this game.
Very good. Would you care to wager on a game? Well, since you have never beaten me, we'll make this for a paltry 50 credits. No bargaining now. This is serious. To be fair, I'll use my practice deck as well. I don't want to scare you off, you understand? Haha, very good. Now, don't worry if I beat you too harshly. It is a learning experience.
This guy won't be so smug when I'm done with him. Should I really have this many plus 3s? Or 3s? I'm gonna swap one of them out for a 4. They're all flip cards, so that's good. Alright, no problem. Ah, you lucky. I'm gonna tie again. This is not good. So, either of us have won and he has more cards than I do. Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. This is like a soccer game. Oh, man. Now it's all going to be down to luck. This is a ridiculous match. Oh, come on. Really? 16 again? Ah. There you go. Now I just have to get lucky 2 times in a row. No big deal, right? No! Now it is completely up to chance. I'm standing at 16. This is going to be a little risky. Okay, I'm standing there. No!
Would you like to have another round of Pazak? I don't want to sour you on.
Alright, come on, come on. Let's go. I'm not giving up that easily. You got lucky that time. We're going down. Oh my god, you got lucky again. What is this nonsense? Screw it, you can have that round. The Force wanted you to have that round. I'm gonna beat you. Yeah, see? You just got lucky last time. It's a total fluke. I'm ripping him to shreds. Give it up, man. You already lost. Really? Okay. It's gonna be another one of these kinds of games.
Would you like to have another round? I mean, I don't want to say that it was beginner's luck, but you should play again to truly get a feel for the game. 200. You won't.
Okay, higher stakes this time. Ha. Eh. Got him. I wonder if you're getting tired of watching me play Pazak. Email me at this web zone if you're tired of watching me play Pazak. That was a terrible blinking expression. I should be ashamed of myself.
Would you like to have another round of Pazak? That's only fair, after all. You have won against me twice, but I still think I can teach you a thing or two.
Alright, let's go.
You have proven quite the opponent, but I think the time has come to end this. You will not win again. I usually only use this deck at tournaments, but I think you're worthy of it. Shall we say 500 credits on the outcome?
You're on.
Yes, well then, 500 credits on the line. Here we go.
I love how the fate of the galaxy is at stake, but I still have time to play a high-stakes card game. Should I play another card? I'm not sure about this. Alright, so we both have the same amount of cards. Alright. Good deal. Ooh, this is risky. Ah. Well, I got him to use a card, so that's good. And you're done. Alright, so by the law of averages, I should win this. Or, not the law of averages, but it's more likely that I will. So there.
Would you like to have another round of Pazak? However, you'll understand if we don't have any wagers. I respect your ability too much to insult you by betting on you losing.
Alright, goodbye.
Stop by any time. I'd like to visit my money.
Okay, yeah, I gotta go talk to Isis now. See who's gonna give me something. That'll be fine. Good luck. Let's see, what did he give me? Did he give me that Chinese shield? Let's go back to the Eastern Dune Sea.
Good.
Or to the Sand People territory, rather. Oh boy, this is gonna take a while. I think these guys respawn. So you can just keep farming them. They give you 400 XP, so that's good. I don't want to farm. I don't want to farm too much though. 'Cause I don't really like farming. Alright, you use this double-bladed lightsaber.
There.
So you usually see Sith using those red lightsabers, but
What can I do?
doesn't matter what alignment you are, you can always use these.
Sure.
Let me have a look at that crate Dragon Pearl. Thought I saw it for a second. There it is. Oh, it doesn't say what it does. Oh well. I'm willing to sacrifice it if I get something interesting from the Sand People. So if you remember back in episode 4, Luke's family are moisture farmers.
Ready.
And so they farm something that is scarce
What can I do?
Sure.
on this planet, but would be plentiful on other planets. So it's really just the most dead-end thing possible, which really fits the themes of the movie well. You know, like Luke moving on from his dumpy planet with a dead-end job. Bastila, please. God's sakes. Should have left her at home. Alright, time to gain the respect of the natives.
Query. What do you wish to ask of him? Protocol. Translation. You have been told that to be considered worthy of hearing the histories. Translation. He says the discussion is closed until...
Here is the Dragon Pearl.
Translation. Translation. He is stupefied, Master. He never thought you could return with such an item. Such a thing has not been done in many years. Translation. He will allow you to meet the storyteller, but also gives a warning. If you dare to repeat the histories incorrectly, you will be killed. Translation.
Oh, I hope I
The
can save.
storyteller will be summoned to one of the rooms here in the Enclave. He seems to think this is a great honor for you, Master.
Tell him farewell for now.
Translation. Translation.
Alright, let's find the storyteller. There he is.
Translation. He identifies himself as the storyteller, Master. He has been told of your warrior skills and will speak the history to you.
I'm honored. Ask him what he records.
Translation. Translation. There is only one accepted history, passed orally to each successive generation. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people.
What topics can I choose from?
Translation. Translation. You may choose to hear the history, or you may choose not to. Their history is a single entity that cannot be partitioned. Translation. The only exception is in continuing the tales once they have begun. If you leave, when you return, he will continue from where he left off. Translation. Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life, and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders.
Oh, the builders.
Translation. Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation. Great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches, until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation. Those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves. Translation. Translation. There came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation. The builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation. They worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation. Soil became glass, grinding to sand, but the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free. Translation.
I don't know if I can remember all this.
Editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the Long Walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things?
If you can gently encourage that, then go ahead.
Translation. Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all the sand people and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation. These outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation. So it is to the current sons that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine.
Is there anything further?
Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master. Translation.
So now what do? Do I recite it to someone?
Translation. Translation. Now that you have heard... Oh. Translation. He says that you dare not question the accuracy of his information. The stories are learned perfectly by each successive storyteller. Translation. In fact, they aren't allowed to speak the stories aloud unless they are exact. Any error is considered a blasphemy, punishable by death. Criticism. It seems inefficient to me, Master. A score of apprentice storytellers would be slaughtered each generation. What if the elder died before completing the teachings?
That's a good question. Ask him that.
Translation. Translation. Apprentices are trained from birth. Very few speak the words in error. Storytellers are most often lost in battle between tribes. Translation. Any tribe that loses its storyteller is obviously unworthy of existing. They lose their connection to history and destroy themselves within fighting soon after. Query. What do you... Protocol. This will be a very... Translation. He says you may listen to the storyteller, but it...
So it's just an information dump.
Caution. Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy. Clarification. I believe they were occupied by this technologically superior species for a substantial period. Stripping an entire planet of usable resources would have taken generations.
Why would the invaders have done this?
Obvious. The same reason Zerka Corporation is attempting it now. Expanding empires need tremendous amounts of resources.
How many of these people are taken off world?
Translation. Translation. He has no number. He claims that those that were taken were examples of the worst of his kind, arrogant and uncaring of the land. Doubtful. Master, this is just another distortion due to their demonization of the builders. It's like claiming an aspect of his people were taken, not actual individuals. Clearly, history has colored his view. Of course, only the inferior meatbags were taken. The remaining were his ancestors, after all. It must have been special.
I love HK.
Cautionary. Remember my warning, Master. They may consider certain questions. Clarification. They appear to hate humanity with a passion, only rivaled by their hatred of the Builders. For some reason, you resemble what they once were. Perhaps there is a lingering fear that you are their tainted selves returning from exile among the stars.
Is it a physical or a societal similarity?
Cautionary. Master, if you mean to suggest that humanity is ancestrally linked to ancient Tatooine, you will strain his belief system to its pitiful meatbag maximum.
Okay.
Cautionary. Impatience. Master, I refuse to inconvenience you with this. He spouted names of petty tribal fights in deserts so distant they might as well be across the galaxy. Really, Master, I'm sure it's important to him, but it has nothing of value that you could ever put to use. Clarification. The occupying force suffered some sort of species-wide plague that lowered their numbers over time. His people used this extended weakness to sabotage their larger ships. The response of the Builders appears to have been to lay waste to the entire surface of Tatooine.
How could they survive such an attack?
Hypothesis. If his people were moving away from technology for a long time under the Builders, they may have had extensive cave systems that could grant shelter. I would also suggest that, given the evidence of the massive shift in the nature of their society, most of them did not survive.
Sounds a lot like Dune, with the Fremen hiding in sieges. What kind of weapon could do so much damage?
Clarification. I may not have properly conveyed how long they fought with the Builders. Given time, any number of armaments could destroy a world. Hypothesis. Perhaps this is another distortion. Their climate may have begun to fail due to their unrestrained development even before the Builders arrived. Looking back thousands of years later, such a shift could easily be attributed to the much-hated conquerors. Doubting. They didn't, Master. They struck a blow, but the storyteller only believes they won because the Builders were gone when they emerged from their caves. That does not mean they defeated anyone. It seems clear that the Builders simply sterilized their problem and left. The enemy judged them not worthy to fight. Cautionary.
The time of enslavement.
Clarification. I believe they were occupied by this technologically superior species for a substantial period. Stripping an entire planet of usable resources would have taken...
Oh, I think we've already gone over this.
Clarification. It would appear that they once had a thriving technologically advanced society, but were wiped out by a much more sophisticated alien species.
Can you clarify how long ago Tatooine was green with life?
Doubting. I don't believe he can, Master. Even if their stories are exact and unchanged, it is likely they were first told thousands of years after these events occurred. This has become very much like a creation myth for his people. There is no date. It simply was.
Ask him if these Builders resemble any modern species.
Translation. Translation. He only understands the Builders as an iconic force meant to test the resolve of his people. He is not making sense, Master. Clarification. They claim their stories are repeated unchanged, but they have demonized these Builders. In their minds, they wreaked such havoc they could not possibly be flesh and blood.
Ask if they have an image we could compare with current species.
Cautionary. Master, this line of questioning may be interpreted as attempting to change the story. He may react poorly.
Never mind. Is there anything in the galactic record that would verify this?
Negative. I am no library, but since there is no Republic record of this planet having sentient life before Zerka colonization, I doubt you will find such evidence. Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master. Translation. We are free to leave.
So is there nothing else to do? Okay. Well, that was interesting. We got some lore. That's fun. At least it was fun to me. I'm sure some people watching this are bored to tears by now. But that's okay, because we're done. And next time we'll go somewhere else.